You listen if you're just chilling at the crib. All you'll do is come back to Build for This Network. Look up, go back to Spreaker.com, look up Build for This Network. Look up the shows, and you can find what you want to hear. Or you can go to YouTube, Build for This Network Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, or Podcast Addict. And as I stated, you can go to any place that you download your podcast regularly and get the information that you need to continue to tune in. With that being said, as I do every week, I acknowledge my ancestors because the way I was raised. If you acknowledge your ancestors, you send out blessings and respect to them. They send down blessings and protection to you, anybody who's listening to you. That goes for my ancestors as well as my family who was living, connected to the Whitmore family, the Pollard family, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Crisp, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and as I say every week, me and my father, my mother, my brothers, and my sisters, we are the Williams clan. We are in the building at all times. This is an interesting week. The reason I call it an interesting week is because it's the prequel to something, either a world we are replayed. We're going to see things that we've seen, what our ancestors have seen in the past, or we are going to put ourselves in a position to move forward. And if we move forward, we can never look back unless it is for Sankofa reasons. Look it up. Sankofa is part of your history. I'm just here to leave breadcrumbs. Shout out to Dr. Greg Carr. Shout out to Karen Hunter for the continued inspiration. Now, with that being said, we have a lot of work to do. We are in a position that you know what? I don't think we've ever been in this situation. We are putting ourselves, we can either put ourselves in a position of not power, but control. We can put ourselves in a position of control. A lot of people are not engaging civically, and that's your right. I'm not here to preach to you about go vote, go vote, go vote, because I looked at the demographics on my show, and everybody was born from let's say 1982 on back. That means you are extremely adult. And for me to continue to say, hey man, this is what you should do, you know, blah, 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 I'm not going to have that debate anymore. A lot of people are engaged in that debate, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm tired of having it. I'm only going to engage with people who are attempting to move forward. And if you are attempting to move forward, then we can. If not, I see you when you catch up. Because at some point, the alarm may ring at 8 o'clock, but you may not hear it to 8:30, 8:45, or what have you. That does not mean you are excluded from the party. That just means you didn't hear the alarm. And you may have to get, as we say in the head, in the hood, hit in the head one more time. And that's understandable. No. That's all I'm saying. What we are about to embark upon is a situation that Tuesday, either you're going to be in a position to where you can buy yourself more time in the United States of America, or you are going to be looking for your freedom papers far sooner than you thought you would be. A lot of people assume, I'm free, I'm the Emancipation Proclamation, I'm an American citizen, I'm free. But your freedom depends on your employees. And when I say your employees, I mean the people that you elect. Politicians are your employees. They are asking you for a job. Your tax money pays for their jobs. And it's up to you to maintain their lifestyle, whether you realize it or not. So a lot of my brothers, sisters, friends, uncles, cousins, they ain't gonna do what they supposed to what you're supposed to do, that's because you're not telling them to. If I will give you a job and give you no instructions on how to do the job, but I still pay you every 2 weeks, and then other people slide me money to do something for them while you're paying me, more than likely, the average person would do the exact same thing. First of all, we are in the midst of a tearing apart of men and women. Men and women cannot do this alone. Most women, like, you keep hearing these statistics. Most women are in charge. They're opening up businesses, yada, yada, yada. Then you hear the black man is not supporting the woman and yada, yada, yada. And you can fall for that if you like. Everybody has an instance in which you have a deadbeat person in your life, whether it be a spousal example or a family example. You've been let down. I get it. But if you want to fall for this narrative, man, it's people that are not going to support you, and no new friends, and men versus women. This is exactly what the people who are in charge of the chaos, that's what they're waiting on. They love it. Jamel Hill compared black men to what they call toxic masculine white men. And what was the purpose of that text? She thought she was speaking towards the Women's Liberation Act. And, we got to stand up, sisters. But you can't stand up, sisters, without us. And then you get the brothers on there. Oh, fuck you. Go to hell. I'm sick of bras like you and all that. And guess what, brothers? It ain't going to work without them. So the funny thing is, I've actually lost friends, women who are my friends, because one person I'm thinking of in particular, she told me she's a feminist, which made me immediately think about the feminist movement, suffrage. And for a sister to be talking about suffrage means no matter how intelligent you are, how much information you've obtained, how many quotes you can run back at me, you're not reading deep enough. You're just reading the surface. And that seems to be the prevailing problem in the United States of America today. Everyone reads the headline, no one reads the story. And the reason that's why people, and I'm going to get into that a little later, that's why these damn celebrities are raping us the way they do. Because, okay, oh man, I'm a feminist. But did you read that people like Susan B. Anthony said, yeah, we want our rights, but not the black women? And I'm not here to preach divisiveness. But when you sign, before you read a book, maybe you need to read who the author is. Maybe you need to look up who the author is, because that negative energy that person poured into that book is about to be poured into you. So if it's some stuff that sounds real good to you on the surface, guess what? Read the book. Find out who this person was before you pour that into yourself and make yourself a toxic carrier. Almost like a super carrier, like these parties that the president and his cronies are having, poisoning the hell out of anybody who comes in contact with them. But this person, about 3 years ago, decided to never speak to me again. And guess what? I haven't lost 1 gram of weight. I haven't missed 1 millisecond of sleep. And I smile as frequently as possible. Not that person wasn't a good person or a cool person, but the same person don't even, they'll tell me, I love the Lord and Jesus and all that, but then you don't read your Bible because the Bible said only fools shun knowledge. But allow me to go back. I'm tired of seeing this thing of up and down, right and wrong. We are on a mission. The mission is freedom. The freedom that we need to obtain is within our grasp, but we must work together. We do not have to work as a damn, we don't have to be a band. But what we do need to say is the goal is to get the Banneker, or If you new school, Washington D.C. If you old school, it's Banneker, but that's another story. I'm dropping these bread. It's like, that's why I keep shouting out Dr. Greg Carr and Professor Karen Hunter. I'm dropping these breadcrumbs because that's their term, dropping breadcrumbs. So in hopes for you to hear me say one or two things and it'll trigger something in you and you can educate yourself and it'll force you. What I'm trying to do is force you to hear something. And when you hear it, you go, let me look that up. Let me delve into that, because when I delve into that, it'll teach you how to educate yourself instead of holding on to these bromites and these pieces of information that a lot of people give. And then what they do is you lose because you're trying to repeat and regurgitate things that people who you perceive to be intelligent keep spouting off about. And when somebody press you for it, or they ask you for the very next step, you get angry, frustrated, or just say, see, I see how you are. That's not the way to go, folks. That's not the way you can be a learned person. That's not the way you will be an informed person. That's not the signs of true intelligence. Intelligence, folks, it's not being able to regurgitate a whole bunch of things that you read out of books. The true sign of intelligence is the practical application of that information that you have obtained. We can all read books and read quote stats and become a damn almanac. Anybody can do that. Anybody in the history of the world can recite information. Hey, I'm smart. But now, all the information that you have, what I'm going to need you to do is use that in everyday life. And then you'll become intelligent. Because, again, that's the sign of intelligence. How do you use this information? Now, repeating things, that sounds cute. I know. Like me, I can tell you who won all the Super Bowls. That don't make me a sportscaster. I can tell you when, why, and how certain teams are going to perform tomorrow. That does not make me a coach. All it does is mean I watch a whole lot of football in my life. But if you are going to use this information to enhance your soul and enhance your everyday life, then that's when you become intelligent, because the only way you can enhance something is to intake things, process it, and then put it to work. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm saying. You could be a masculine, manly man, or you could be a feminist. But that is a thing that works with a scale. Your heart, like a scale. When you look at most scales, you see a heart and a feather. Because you must have a heart as soft as a feather to balance this thing out. Yeah, some women make men sick. Man, she get on my nerves. Some men are clowns and want to be bossy and turn their back on women. Yes, indeed. But the vast majority of us work in unison to make this thing called life work. And if you're not willing to do that, what we need to do is use the definition of jail in Africa. There is no definition in the original language of anybody on the continent. It's a banishment. It is a banishment. We're going to leave you alone until you enhance yourself, and then we'll welcome you back into the family once you've shown yourself to be pure. The reason I'm bringing this about is, again, we got these celebrities, we got these so-called experts, and nobody really says to the common man, myself included, what's the plan for us? Oh man, we need this, we need that. We got the plan for the contract with Black America, and we got the Platinum Plan by Jackass Jones, and we got the Joe Biden plan, or what is it, Lift Every Voice. And we got all this stuff, but you know what, man? The thing that you're truly in control of is everything around you. You control the people who are going to be around you. You control the energy that's around you. You control everything in the world that's around you. You control who you date, who you spend time with, who you have conversations with. And if those people are not fulfilling you or pouring into you and allowing you to pour into someone else, and it's a regurgitating thing in that fashion, then you are cheating yourself. If these niggas ain't no good, You are hanging around